The once paid ChatGPT 4 is now completely free. Hi everyone, I'm Ishan Sharma, and OpenAI just had a massive event in which they unveiled GPT 4o. And through this video, I want to show you exactly what GPT 4 is and how can it help you in your day-to-day life. This is a massive announcement. I want to take you through every single little highlight so that you are prepared for the future to make 2024 the best year of your life. Let's first start with a definition. What is GPT-4o? Well, the O in GPT-4o stands for Omni. GPT-4 Omni is a new version, a new update of the GPT-4 model which they've released, in which you can now have real-time conversations. They showed a bunch of demos and it is extremely fast. It's almost real-time. There is very low latency, which means that you can now have real-world human-like interactions and conversations with the AI bot like GPT-4o. And that is pretty crazy. The second observation I had was how expressive GPT-4o is. Like, just look at this clip.
Or that you are the announcement.
Me? The announcement is about me? Well, color me intrigued.
That is insane. The way it is able to talk and sound like a real girl with emotions and expressions. And one of the presenters actually asked it to be even more dramatic, and it actually did that. It blows my mind. Right? So we are finally entering the era in which you can have real world, real-time conversations with AI bots, and it can sound exactly like a human. And the reason to why it is so quick and has low latency has got to do with how it actually works. So if you take an example of GPT 3.5 and GPT 4, if you click on voice input, the way it works is that you speak something, that voice and audio is converted into text, and then the text is fed into GPT 3.5 or 4, and then you get an answer from these models, and then it is converted into audio, and then you get to hear it. Now this involves three major processes, and that is why it takes a lot of time. Anywhere from 2 to 6 seconds you would have to wait for getting the response, which makes it feel unreal, right? Which does not allow for real-time communication. And that is what this model fixes. So what GPT-4 does is that it is an end-to-end model which can take vision, audio, and text as input, right? So previously, while we were just having text, it can now take audio and vision. What that means is it can actually understand context. It can actually understand the tone in which you're speaking. Look at this example in which they're comparing how they breathe.
Okay, here I go.
Whoa, slow a bit there. Mark, you're not a vacuum cleaner.
GPT-4o was able to understand that this person is breathing unnaturally, which is pretty crazy. And if you were to use something like a GPT-4 and put your audio into it, this would be lost in translation. It would only convert the words you've said into text and then feed it to it. But it would never be able to understand the tone and context in which you are speaking it. So that, I think, is the biggest change out there. And if you think that is insane, the next announcement is that GPT-4o is available for free for everyone to try out. Yes, you do not need to buy the $20 per month subscription. You can actually start using it for free. And that is pretty crazy. Sam Altman was talking about how their goal has always been about getting the best technology in hands of people around the world without charging them or having a great price with it. And that is what they've done by giving it away for free. And they've written over there how they will make money when they have to, but they want to make sure that as many people as possible get to try out the latest technology out there, which is amazing. But we'll get back to the blog that Sam wrote in some time. And this also means that you can access the custom GPTs, the GPT store, for completely free. You can access the advanced data analytics feature that you previously had in the paid plan for free. You can access the browse option. You can have the memory option for completely free in the free plan of ChatGPT itself, which is pretty insane. Let's now also talk about the capabilities of GPT-4o. Right? So first one that I just talked about was real-time conversations and actually understanding the context of the way someone is speaking. And the second one was having real-time language translation, which I think is pretty crazy. Right? So if you were to look at this video.
Hey, how's it been going? Have you been up to anything interesting recently?
Hola, ¿cómo te ha ido? ¿Has hecho algo interesante últimamente?
Hola, bien. Sí, un poco ocupado aquí preparando un evento para la semana que viene.
Hey, I've been good. Just a bit busy here preparing for an event next week.
You can notice how it is able to very quickly translate the language and convert it into the other one. And it is seamless. It feels like you're actually talking to the other person. The reason I'm saying this is because I have traveled a lot abroad, and whenever I use Google Translate, it takes a while. It takes like a good 3-4 seconds for it to convert, especially if you are in a remote location with bad internet. It's not the best experience, but this seems amazing. So for travelers or for anyone who wants to learn a new language, they also showcased how you can show the camera, you can show GPT-4o anything, any object, and you can ask it, what do you call this in French? What do you call this in Mandarin? And it would actually give you the word. And then you can speak that word to the other person if you're in a new country. And that I think is pretty crazy. It also showed a demo in which a person was teaching Mandarin to another person who only knows English. So this I think is a great way for you to learn new languages, because finally GPT-4o can understand the tone in which you're speaking something, the pronunciation of something, it can understand. And hence it can teach you how to learn better languages, which also has some repercussions, which we'll again talk about at the end of the video. Another capability of GPT-4o is working as a live AI companion. So you can share your screen on the desktop app and you can ask it for anything. That, this is what I'm having a look at, give me feedback on this, or teach me about this, or observe this code base and tell me what it is actually doing. There are so many use cases for this, and I'll talk about that in the use case part of the video. Now, this is pretty crazy. There was one more video in which Sal Khan was teaching a very simple math problem to his son with the help of GPT-4o acting as a tutor.
Is the opposite side. And then you said that the hypotenuse is the longest side, so that would be this side AB, which is 25. So would the answer be 7/25?
Excellent work. That's correct. Sine alpha equals 7/25.
And that was mind-blowing. On the iPad, this was showcased, and I think it's pretty good. Another amazing capability is that you can take GPT-4o in meetings, and it can observe what is someone speaking. It can actually give recommendations, and it can also summarize meetings, and it will be able to remember what was spoken in that meeting.
Can you summarize this meeting for us?
Sure. So, in today's meeting, Lillian and Christine expressed their love for dogs, highlighting their loyalty, companionship, and how great they are with kids.
And that is amazing. I know there are apps currently doing this, but now you can do it natively inside of ChatGPT itself, all thanks to GPT-4o. So that is a pretty big list of capabilities. But let's also talk about the use cases, like how can you use it in your own life? And the first example I want to share you is having GPT-4o as your tutor. I think this is going to disrupt the education system forever. Finally, today you could have an AI teacher which is going to take you step by step to help you solve a coding problem, help you solve a math problem, help you explain concepts which are complicated in science, in social studies, events that happened in the past. Everything can now be easily explained, all thanks to GPT-4o. And that is pretty crazy. All because it is able to communicate very well. All because you can speak to it and it can actually look at the screen कि आप enter क्या कर रहे हो, or what are you speaking, in what tone are you speaking, are you sounding confused, are you sounding more confident. So it will be able to understand all of these things and give you real world feedback. And that makes it an amazing teacher to learn pretty much anything you want to. You can literally show it the screen and ask it to summarize everything. You can ask it to explain everything as a teacher. You can ask it to create a quiz for you to understand everything which is on the screen, and so on and so forth. There are so many applications to this. I think this is going to replace the typical model in which you have to go to the school, sit in boring lectures, and you can finally have AI teach you something, teach you concepts. It can create a whole plan for you to learn a skill. You can learn complete chapters without having to go to the traditional education system. So that is a big shift, which I'm really excited to see. This will basically enable anyone around the world at any time to learn any skill that they want to and get feedback from an AI teacher like GPT-4o. So that is a huge use case, which I am really looking forward to seeing. The second one is helping you out with interview preparation. I know so many people who get so underconfident, shy, and they just don't know what questions will they be asking. Well, with the help of GPT-4o, you can now show the camera your face and you can speak and you can reply to answers that people would normally ask you in an interview. And the way you talk and the way you communicate yourself, the way you are dressing up, it can give you feedback on every little detail, which means that you can finally ace that interview that you've been dreaming of getting, right? So interview preparation, I think, is a great use case of GPT-4 because finally it can understand the tone, it can understand video. It basically, the way it works is that it takes screenshots of a few frames, it analyzes what is happening in that, and then it is able to give feedback on that frame.
So I'm just gonna throw this on. What do you think?
Oh, Rocky, that's quite a statement piece. I mean, you'll definitely stand out. Though maybe not in the way you're hoping for an interview.
Okay, I got it.
The third use case is when you're traveling abroad or you want to learn a new language. You can literally use it versus something like a Duolingo or any other app to learn a language with ease. And it will be able to explain it to you in the best way possible. The pronunciation of certain words and dialects and the way to communicate that will be very easily understood to you when you have GPT-4o at your side.
What are these objects in Spanish?
The objects you're showing are una manzana and un plátano in Spanish. Nice fruit choice.
So that, I think, is the biggest change which I have noticed so far. Another thing, because it can now understand video, is fitness coach. You can finally have GPT-4o as your virtual fitness coach. So the way it will work is it can help you correct your posture, your form whenever you're doing some exercise, and it can give you live feedback. And that will help you avoid injuries and make sure that you have the best pump at the end of the workout and you're able to reach where you want to in your fitness journey. I see so many people who've been working out without a coach, I myself being a good example, and they don't know the unknown unknowns, right? So you don't know what you don't know. And because you don't have a coach, you might be repeating the same mistake over and over again, which could lead to injuries and other things. But once you have enabled the video feature of GPT-4o, it can look at your form, it can look at what exercise you're doing, it can evaluate where you want to reach in your fitness journey and give you the step-by-step plan that can help you get there. And I think that is pretty amazing. Another similar application is helping you choose the best outfit out there, is helping you with shopping, a virtual shopping assistant. Just imagine, you're going out there, you want to buy clothes, you don't know what to buy, and you end up calling your parents, you end up calling your girlfriend, you end up calling other people, your friends. You can literally just go on to GPT-4o, you can tell it what type of clothes do you normally wear, what is the event or the occasion for which you're shopping, and just go enable the video and show it around every single outfit. It will be able to pick the right outfit for you. Another big use case, which I think is going to automate and take jobs of a lot of people, is that of customer service operator. Now that we have real-time conversations with AI, we can have AI as a customer support. Without that latency, it will be able to look like a human, act like a human, and converse quickly without any delays. And I think that is pretty crazy. So we'll have a lot of companies deploying GPT-4o in the future instead of having people sitting and answering the call. Not only audio, you can actually have GPT-4o as a video troubleshooter because it can actually look at the screen. You can share the screen and you can show everything on your screen. It can give you feedback on how can you do something, how can you execute something. You don't need to call the chat support every single time for that. And I think that is going to save a lot of businesses a lot of money. And that is amazing. Another use case is that of a financial advisor. Now, imagine you sharing your screen and you have TradingView open and you can show it the live chart of the stock market or of a particular stock. And you can ask it that, hey, according to this type of investing or trading, what should I do now? Or you can ask advice. You can ask it to visualize and tell what this chart is actually showing. Is this a bearish pattern? Is this a bullish pattern? What are the candlesticks pattern looking like? And so on and so forth, right? The point is it can help you evaluate and get things done faster and act as a companion for you to invest better, to trade wisely. So that is what this update is all about. These were all the use cases. The last highlight I want you to know is GPT-4o API will soon be available. It will be cheaper, it will be faster, it will be much more efficient. And Sam wrote about this in his blog, and he was talking about how previously he and the OpenAI team thought that they would create AI and they would also create all the use cases of AI. But now he says it looks like we'll just create the AI and other people will use it to create amazing applications. And that is where the problem arises. The problem is that, as you just saw, ChatGPT is able to do a lot of things now. A lot of features that other companies have can now be done natively on GPT-4o itself, which raises the question, why should you go to a Duolingo, or why should you go to a separate app to do something? Why should you go to fireflies.ai for note taking when you can do it natively with ChatGPT? If you get to share your screen with GPT-4o and have a live companion help you code and help you get amazing insights from the code base that you have, why would you need like a Copilot or Devin or any other tool that you would have to pay separately for? So they do say that they want other people to use the AI that they've built and create amazing use cases from it, but they themselves are making sure that no one goes outside of using ChatGPT to try out other apps. And that is where the paradox lies. Anyways, I'll let you decide what you think of it in the comment section below. This was GPT-4o. We talked about what is GPT-4o. We talked about all the features. We talked about how can you use GPT-4o. Now, the thing is, it's available for free, but right now you can only try the text version of it. The audio and video version will be rolling out soon. So when it comes out, I'll do an in-depth video showing you even more use cases and how can you make money from it, build businesses from it, and so on and so forth. In the next few weeks, a lot of new updates will be coming out and I'll make sure I cover all of that on this channel. Thank you so much for watching. Hit the like button, subscribe, click a screenshot and post it on Instagram at IshanSharma7390, and I'll see you all in the next video.